We're continuing on page 98. That's where we left off. Page 98. 50 was arrested. It's come to my attention the clerk has run Mr. Alston's date of birth, and he does have a misdemeanor conviction. So we have to take a recess, and we have to get it. Mr. Albert, I would ask for a short recess, and I have an opportunity to go through the statement. What statement, Mr. Albert? Mr. Kelly just gave me a statement of Mr. Alston, and I just glanced at it very quickly. There's also another statement to Detective Maloney, which I'll go into. I'm going to bring that all out. I'll do your job for you. The court, wait a second. You're supposed to get all the statements before now. You didn't get the statements of witnesses? Mr. Albert, I got one statement from Alston to Detective Maloney. You have to turn over all the statements. Mr. Albert, let me repeat that I received the statement from Alston. And that was page 98. We'll go to 99. That's page 100. So, 99. Off the record, whereupon there's a discussion held off the record among all counsel and the court. It's now brought to my attention that this witness has a conviction, which was to petty larceny. He paid $100 fine or 10 days. It arose out of a grand larceny auto, and he pled to petty larceny. You can cross-examine on that. He'll get you. He'll get you. Will get you, excuse me. No, he'll get you. If I may, with regard to my objection, Mr. Albert is crossing this witness about the night before June 1st, and he just said that the next day Bunting wasn't in the car, and he referred to the date of June 6th. The court, he made a mistake, apparently. Are you talking about June 1st? I'm talking about June 1st. Mr. Kelly, you're crossing him because Bunting was in the car June 1st? Yes, so I'll allow it. Mr. Albert, that's what I'm crossing. The court, I want you to turn over all statements from all witnesses. So that was page 99. We're going to page 100, but I'm going to have to go to the next transcript because I had them in 100-page staples. That is Steno's statement that I just received from Barbara Whittier. Who is Whittier? The steno. Steno is short for stenographer. The person who took the steno statement on June 6th. The record should reflect I gave it to Mr. Albert at 2 o'clock when we came down the court today. The court, can you get it for me? You want to cross-examine him, and we'll take a recess. Mr. Albert, yes, all right. Whatever your honor wants to do, I was hoping that what I wanted to show the jury the pictures which I held because I figured I would still have our friend Patricia. The court, let's continue with the cross-examination. So continue on the next page. So I have to go to page 101. People of the state of New York. Yeah, page 101. Another. Page 101. Whereupon the following takes place on the record in open court. See, it says Alston for people. cross. Alston is choke. For people is who he's testifying for, and cross is the defendant's cross-examination. You may continue. Continued cross-examination by Mr. Albert. When you let Johnny Bunting off that evening before June 1st, going to the motel, do you recall that? Uh-huh. And did you have the car the next day? The next morning I picked him up. The next day you picked him up? Yeah. Were you alone with him when you picked him up? What do you mean? When you say you picked him up, did you pick him up with this young lady? No, the young lady was with him. Yes, yes. Was there anybody else in the car with you at that time? Dennis, huh? Dennis. Dennis, huh? Now, who was driving that car? That blue and white Honda. What? Who was driving it? Was it you or was it Johnny Bunting? At what time? At what time? When you say you picked him up with a young lady from the motel, he was driving till we got to Baychester. When he got out the car, I drove. I drove to Co-op. Now, after you say that Johnny Bunting was driving, how long did you continue to remain in the car? I never got out. You never got out? No. You mean the four of you never got out of the car? Kelly objection overruled. When? Well, you said you were in the car. You were in the car. Is that right? Uh-huh. A young lady was in the car. Uh-huh. Is that correct? Yes. Dennis was in the car. Yes. And Johnny Bunting was in the car. Yes. So you were four people in the car. Isn't that correct? Yes. And you drove around. Yes. And how long did you drive around? I don't remember. But what time did you pick up Johnny Bunting from the motel? It was early. Real early. How early? I don't remember. It was before the incident. It was before he got out the car. I picked him up. You could say about 5 in the morning or later than that. Well, do you remember what time it was? I don't remember. When you say he got out of the car. No, I don't. Well, was it about 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning? I don't remember. Or was it in the evening? It was in the morning. I don't remember. And when he got out of the car, did you see where he went? He went up Baychester towards Boston Road. And when he got out of the car, did you then get behind the wheel? Yes. When he came back, I drove off. Well, when he got out of the car, did you then get behind the wheel? Not right away. Uh-huh. I was sitting there talking to the young lady, and then I got up in the front, and then when he came back to the car, I drove off. Now, when he went out of the car, did you see where he went? He went up Baychester. And where was the car parked at that time when you say when Johnny left the car? On Baychester. And when you say it was parked on Baychester, was it parked on the north side? I'll withdraw that. Does Baychester run north and south? Both ways, yes. And was the car parked in the direction going uptown, or was it parked in the direction going downtown? Going downtown. At the time the car was parked, was it near any school? Yes. Near what school was it? John Philip Sousa. Where? John Philip Sousa. There's a car parked near Shefflin Avenue. It was parked past Shefflin. Huh? Past Shefflin. How far past Shefflin Avenue was the car parked? I'd say about a block. Now, I'm going to show you a photo which is marked defendants A and Evans, and I'm going to ask you if page is this 10. Why is it blurry? 105. So I'm looking at 106. Recognize that photo as being a reasonable representation of Baychester Avenue. Yes. Looking in a southerly direction. Yes. Could you indicate on that photo where your car was parked down here, but you can't see it? All right. Could you place an arrow? Is it possible for you to place an arrow to show in which direction your car was parked on this photo? Yes. Huh? Yes. Can you do that? Judge, can I have the pen? I want to make sure I heard it correctly. Is this to show the direction? We have redirect. Do you need the question repeated? Yes. Could you put an arrow on that photo showing the direction in which the car was parked? Which way the car was facing? Yes, the front of the car, not standing in front of the car. Which way the car was facing, as if you driven off. You said the car was in a southerly direction. It was going south. Fine. Would you put an arrow to show which way it was facing? Whereby the witness complies. Okay, could you press down on that a little more? Mr. Austin, go right over it, whereupon the witness complies. Okay, thank you. And you say that the car was about a block down. Is that correct? Yes. Mr. Kelly, Mr. Albert, may I see that? Please, yes. Whereupon there's a short pause in the proceeding. Thanks. Oh, now you said that Johnny got out of the car. Is that correct? Yes. And in which direction did he walk? North. Objection as to where he walked. Well, which direction did he go? North. And then you testified before that you say you saw him turn in the corner. Yes. And you didn't see where he went after that. Is that your testimony? Yes. Mr. Albert, Judge, can I just for the moment ask that your honor permit the jury to see this photograph at this time? Yes. Whereupon defendants exhibit A, and the evidence is circulated among the jurors. Juror number 5. This is the corner of Shefflin and Baychester. This is the corner. You cannot have any discussion during the trial. 109. That was 108. Mr. Kelly, Judge, may I approach to get some water? The jury has viewed the exhibit. Now, you mentioned something about a pouch. Did you ever tell Detective Mahoney that Johnny Bunting had a pouch? Objection. I thought he said sustained. As to that question, you testified before in reply to Mr. Kelly's questions that you saw a pouch. Do you remember we were talking about 6 or 7 inches long? Yes. Huh? Yes. Did you ever see that pouch before? I've seen it in the car before. You saw it in the car? Yeah. Where did you see it in the car? On the floor, on the seat. 110. Well, was it on the floor or was it on the seat? I'm saying I've seen it several times. You were in the car several times? Yeah, I was in the car before that. And was it always on the floor or always on the seat? It was thrown anywhere. Was it just a pouch? Is that what it was? Yes. Nothing else? No. It could have been anything. It could have been a beeper in there. It could have been pens in there. It could have been anything. It wasn't no specific pouch. Did you pick up this pouch and see if there was anything in it? No, I didn't. So, you don't know if it was just a pouch alone or if there was anything in it. Is that true? Yes, that's true. Isn't that so, Mr. Austin? Yes. You say when Johnny left the car, did he go by himself at that time? Did he leave by himself? You have to keep your voice up. Put your hand down. He tried to raise his hand. You have to keep your voice up. Dennis got out of the car, huh? Dennis got out of the car. Dennis got out of the car? Yes, after Mr. Bunting got out. I don't remember. Could have been at the same time. Could have been one before the other. I don't know. Now he's doing a lot of I don't know when it's the defense who's trying to help get the defendant acquitted of the crime. You don't know a lot. How about the young lady? Was she still in the car? Yes. And she remained in the car? Yes. Did you know the name of this young lady? Yes. Was her name Ebony? Yes. And this was the same young lady who went to the hotel with Johnny, is that correct? Yes. Now this pouch that you saw lying on the floor, did it continue to remain in the car? Objection, Judge. That's not. What he testified to, overruled. Well, you say you saw the car was either on the floor or on the seat. Was it still on the floor or seat when Johnny Bunting left? I don't remember. You say you don't know, Fat Cat. Is that correct? Yes. When you say you don't know, Fat Cat, you don't know of him? Is that what jury's saying? You don't know anything about him at all? No. Never saw him before? I've seen him before in the projects. Ever go out with him? No. Ever have any problem with him? No. Did you know whether or not Johnny Bunting ever had a problem with Fat Cat? Objection. Sustained. No. Sustained. You don't have to answer. Strike the answer. Now, you say you saw Johnny Bunting get out of the car and you say there came a time, you don't know when, but Dennis got out of the car. Objection. Is that correct? Objection. Overruled. Is that correct? Yes. Please speak up, Mr. Austin. Yes, yes. And at that time, you didn't see a bat or anything around, did you? No, I didn't. I don't remember. At any time, did you see a knife in Johnny Bunting's hands? No, I didn't. At any time, when he left the car, while he was out of the car, when he came around the corner, as you said, at any time, did you see a knife in his hand? No. When you spoke to the detective, Mahoney, and he drew a statement, did he ask you to sign that statement? Objection. Do you recall whether he asked you to sign the statement? Yes. Did you read the statement before you signed it? No. Did you ask to read the statement before you signed it? No, I didn't. Now you said that Johnny Bunting came back to the car. Yes. You were seated in the car. Yes. Did you hear anything as they were coming back? Did you hear any noises or any commotion? No. Did you hear any woman or man screaming or howling? Did you hear anything like that? No, I didn't. And you said that when Johnny Bunting came back, you noticed that there was some blood spots on his shirt. Yes. And he also had a bloody nose. Yes, is that correct? Yes. Did you notice anything? Well, I'll withdraw that. Now, when Johnny Bunting came back to the car, did he get into the driver's seat? No. You stayed in the driver's seat? Yes. And the young lady was still in the car with you? Yes. And Johnny Bunting got into what part of the car? I don't remember. How about Dennis? I don't remember. The other fellow, do you remember where he got in? No, I don't remember. And then you drove away. Yes, you drove the car. Yes. I have no further questions. And that was page 115. So now we're at 116. Thank you. Oh, wait a while. Continue cross-examination by Mr. Austin. Did you ever steal a car? Did you ever steal a vehicle? No, I haven't. Did you ever plead guilty to possession of a stolen car? Objection overruled. No, I drove a car that was stolen. Before that, I didn't know was stolen. I drove a car that was stolen before that I didn't know was stolen. Well, do you recall being in the criminal court? Yes. And do you recall pleading guilty to petty larceny? Do you recall that? What's petty larceny? Well, do you recall pleading guilty to a crime? Do you recall that? Yes. And was that because you were arrested for a stolen car? Yes. I have no further questions. That was 116. This is 117. Any redirect? Yes, Judge, if I may. Redirect. Mr. Austin, going back to the moment that you testified that defendant and Dennis Jackson got out of the vehicle, could you tell the jury where the car was when they exited the vehicle on Baychester Avenue? And could you tell us how it was that they got out of the car? They got out of the car. Would you say they got out of the car together or pretty close in time together? I don't remember. Well, did you see the defendant exit the vehicle? Of course. Yes, I seen him. Did you see Dennis Jackson, who you call Bandit, exit the vehicle? Yes. If you could tell us about how many seconds between the time that the defendant exited the car and Jackson exited the car. No, I can't. You can't approximate. No, I don't remember. Okay, did you see the defendant and Dennis Jackson chasing after Leroy the fat kid? They went after him. Yes. So he saying that I chased him. The two of us chased him. They went after him. Yes. And how far did you see them go after him? Until they turned the corner. So he don't want to say chase. He said they went after him. But he had to reply with a yes or no. So he said they went after him. Yes. Until they turned the corner. So there came a time when the three of them turned the corner, correct? Cat was already around the corner. And then the defendant eventually went around the corner. Yes. When they went around the corner, were you able to see what happened? No, I wasn't. So could you tell this jury whether or not the defendant had a knife at that time? No, he didn't. Did you see him? I didn't see him leave with no knife, and he didn't come back with no knife. But did you see what happened when they went around the corner. It's 1:19. No, I didn't. So then you can't tell us whether or not he had a knife when he went around the corner. Objection, Judge. Sustained. Now, you were asked about this pouch by Mr. Albert. Correct? Yes, Mr. Albert. And by yourself. And by myself on direct examination. Do you remember? Yes. When you were asked by Mr. Albert, you said it could be used for different things. Yes. What could it be used for? Could be used for pens, a pager, money, anything. You could put anything. Do you think you could put a knife in it, in that pouch? Objection sustained. Can I say something? The court, no, you can't. You have to wait until a question is asked. So he tried to offer up something. I guess in his mind he's trying to offer up something to help. But he didn't help the whole lot. Help them. Witness. All right. I have no further questions. Any recross? Recross. There's no doubt in your mind that Johnny Bunting had no knife in his hand when he left the car. He did not have no knife when he left the car. He did not have no knife when he returned to the car. And the pouch was not no knife carrying pouch. It was a pouch for various things. Fine. Thank you very much. Judge, I have no further questions to this idiot. And I have. Do you have any redirect? Yes, I do, Judge. Redirect examination. So the DA is coming to get at him. Mr. Alton, you testified you recall giving a statement to Detective Mahoney. Is that correct? Objection, Judge. Sustained. Mr. Alton, do you recall giving a stenographer's? So he gave a regular statement, then he gave a stenographer's statement where a court stenographer came and transcribed his statement. For a statement on the court, come up, please. Objection, come up. Whereupon there is a discussion held off the record at the bench in the presence of Mr. Albert, the Assistant District Attorney, and the court, whereupon the following takes place in open court. I have no further questions. Judge, I never had my hands on that stenographer statement. But that's the testimony of the rat. And I have other information that I'm going to post. But I'm going to finish that because it's 2 parts. So I got to finish that and upload. See you later.